welcome to the Eclectic Bloom. My name is Sierra. I'm a watercolor artist, and today I'm going to show you how to paint a cute springtime watercolor bunny butt. Here's a guideline of the supplies. These are just the things I used if you're not sure where to start. The brushes I used were round 6, round 2, and a liner. I used the colors black, a bright colored green, orange, and pink. I used my colors to mix brown, but if you want to bring in a brown color that you love, go ahead and do that. Or you can make your bunny whatever color you want. Of course, you'll need a cup of water and paper. I used a cold-pressed 140-pound watercolor paper. You'll need a paper towel for blotting your brush, something round to trace your bunny butt with, or you can just draw your own. I used my tape since it was round and it was the size I wanted my bunny's butt to be. You'll also need a pencil and an eraser. Also, remember you bring your positive attitude because painting is fun. And we're just spending some time creating something cute for spring without any pressure at all. Okay, so before we start painting, we're going to sketch our bunny. I'm going to take some tape that I have. It's the perfect circle for me. And I'm going to trace around that to make the circle for the bunny butt. I'm going to draw a smaller circle. You can find something for this too, like maybe like a quarter or whatever size. I just kind of freehanded this, but you can find something if you're more comfortable doing that. But just overlapping the bigger circle. Then I'm going to erase the line underneath, so it looks like a little head tucked under the big bunny butt loaf. You want to draw in your ears, just some curved lines on each side of the head. Don't have to make it too perfect. This is just a light sketch so that we can paint in our details. Draw a squiggly little circle for your tail. And then we're going to draw in our feet. Just kind of sticking out on each side. This bunny's getting these little loafs. And they tuck their feet under. It's the cutest thing ever. I'm just going to kind of erase some stuff. Kind of just get your sketch how you want it. I'm going to erase that line in the middle of the tail there. And then I'm going to take the side of my eraser and kind of lighten my sketch. If you want to draw lightly to begin with, that's perfect. But I did it more for you to see. So you just want light lines just so that the paint won't show your outline, your pencil lines. So once you're ready, you're going to mix up your brown. I used a burnt orange and a black. I'm going to use my round 6 brush for pretty much the whole bunny. And then once you got your brown color, we're going to do a wet on wet technique. And that is where you're going to wet the paper first and then drop in your color. If you want to, you can do straight color, but I feel like the wet on wet gives a texture that shows the fur pretty well. So I'm going to put my water on my big circle. We're going to avoid the tail part. Just taking your clean brush with water, moving it all around, filling in that circle. I have a little bit of brown left on my brush. That's not a big deal. We're going to drop the color in anyway. Once you've got some water, you're going to take your paint and you're going to move it around the circle. And see, it'll spread naturally, but I'm using my brush to kind of move it. When I get to the edges of my circle, I'm pushing it out to where it looks like uneven edges. So it's not a perfectly round circle, but maybe a little bunny fur sticking out. So I'm just kind of mixing in a little more orange to give a little bit of a different color. Putting in different colors gives your bunny a little depth and doesn't make it look as flat. But we're going to add details later, but just drop in whatever colors you want right now. And we can always add more later. So I'm pretty happy with my bunny, so I'm going to let it fully dry. And then we're going to do our bunny head. So for this, you can do the wet on wet technique again if you want to, but I just did a solid color, filled in the bunny head with the brown. Same thing with this, you can drop in other colors. I kind of made the edges just a little bit less perfect, but still remain that round shape. You could also do your bunny ears here, but I skip around the page, so it'll come in a little bit later. But just dropping in some more color, making the edges a little bit uneven on the circle. Putting in my bunny feet here. Same thing, just putting in a layer of brown. We're going to add details later, so just put whatever you want in. And here come the ears. Just another layer of the brown. So I'm mixing in some black, and I'm going to add water to it to make a gray color. If you have a gray color, that's great too. I am going to take that, and with the tip of my brush, I'm kind of doing little dashes around the circle. And then I'm taking a clean brush with just a little dampness and moving that color into the center. It kind of blends it out a little bit, but creates a little bit of texture to your bunny tail and gives shadows to your whiteness. And I'm going to drop in a little bit more color here at the bottom to make it look like there's a little more shadow at the bottom of the bunny tail. And that water just kind of moves the gray wherever it wants to go. So now we're going to put in some details. I'm going to start with the feet because the head looks like it's still drying. But we're going to take a darker value brown. So mix a little bit more black in there. Go just right under your bunny butt with that dark brown, a little line or so. You're going to rinse your brush off. Let it dry, or dry your brush with the paper towel, and just kind of push that color out towards the edge. Not all the way because it's still shadowed, but you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Put a dark value there. Rinse your brush off, dap it on the paper towel, and then move the color out. Because it's going to be darker the closer it gets to the bunny's body. We're going to make sure our head is fully dry, and then we're going to do the same thing with some details to the body and to the head and ears. So I'm just putting in a little extra texture. I feel like my bunny needed a little bit more color, a little bit darker details. So taking a little bit of time to do that. Kind of the same process as the beginning, but just a little extra layer. We have two bunny girls named Sally and Judy. They look nothing like this bunny, but bunnies are the best pets ever. So we're going to add some detail here, some darker values to the edges. You don't want to go all around like an outline because it can look a little cartoony if you do that. But if that's what you're going for, that's totally fine. We're just kind of adding a little shadow here. So I'm just dashing around, not the whole thing, but just some. And then I'm blending that darker value out so it's not a super harsh line. When you blend out, you don't want your brush super damp, but just a little bit wet so that you can move that color, but not fully take it away. And if you do take it away, you can always add more. Now we're going to go on the base of the neck and do the same thing. It looks like the bunny's head is just kind of tucked into its body. So there's going to be a little shadow there. So we're gonna blend that out. I'll put a little bit more texture on the head part too. And then we'll go for our ears, put a little bit on the edges there. So I shot for more like the bottom, a little bit on the side, and then the tip of the ear, and then kind of blend out some more, a little bit more texture. Go for our other ear, do the same thing. Just kind of a little light pressure on the tip of the brush to make that dark brown value just a little subtle, but enough to know that it's not a flat object, it is a dimensional ear. Our girlies have some floppy ears. I thought about doing it on this, but they are Holland Lop and Lionhead mix, and they are going to be a year old in June. They are the sweetest little girlies ever. I'm going to add a little bit more details underneath the bunny butt on the feet, and then just along the sides. So just add your dark value where you think, your shadows. Kind of step back, look at your painting, see where it needs some extra. You can definitely overwork your painting, so if you're not sure, just leave it alone and then maybe come back to it in a little while. Alright, so I'm making sure my feet are good and dry because we're going to put in our grass. It's not so much a big deal if the rest of the bunny is dry or not, but the feet, we're going to be putting in our grass by the feet, so make sure those are dry. And we're going to put a line in on each side. You just a little light line right above the feet, so it looks like the bunny's sitting in the grass. I'm just kind of bending my paper. It gets a little bit warped sometimes. You can tape your paper down to kind of prevent that a little bit. So I'm taking my green, I'm going to mix that up. We're going to go under the line. We're going to go under our feet, under our tail, and on the other side, just with a little layer of the green. I'm kind of going around just like the shape that you made of the tail and the feet. And then we're going to take just water, rinse your brush. You don't have to rinse it all the way. Take just water and we're going to blend that color out. You can go however far down the page you want. I just kind of wanted to make sure, or make it look like we were sitting on a little patch of grass. And then you can drop in some more green color. It got a little light at the bottom, so the main thing is having it darker at the base of your bunny's tail and feet because the bunny is casting a shadow onto the grass. Just putting a little more darkness up underneath. Since it's still wet, it kind of spreads it a little bit, but you can also blend it out with your brush if you need to. That's what I'm going to do here. Blend things out. So satisfying. Okay, you're going to take your liner brush and pick up some green. We're going to put in the stems for the flowers. So you're going to just put some light pressure and just flick your brush up. That's what these liners are good for thin lines. You could also use the tip of your round 6 or your round 2. You just want to make sure you do really light pressure to get that thin line. And I'm just adding in the stems, making sure they're not all the same size, not all the same length. Putting some little ones in there. Once you're good with that, we're gonna mix up our pink. I use like a corally color. I mixed a little bit of burnt orange to get kind of a desaturated, but still bright pink color. Whatever color you want is fine. We're going to use our round 2 and we're going to put in our flowers. So you're going to kind of make a one side of a heart and another side of a heart, and then I do a little dash in the middle. Simple little flower. I do that on all of the long and medium stems. And they don't all have to look the same because not all flowers look the same. The little ones, I just do little dash marks, little dots. Another heart here. line. And some little dots on the little ones. Put your leaves in. So with this, it's still the round 2 brush. Take your green. You're going to put a little light pressure on the tip. You're going to press down and you're going to slightly release that pressure as you're going up. And I don't do leaves on all of them, just here and there. That way it doesn't get a little overwhelming. And then I just put some brown dots in the middle of my flowers, the big ones. And that's going to be it. I'm going to sign my masterpiece. It means so much that you painted along with me. I know you created the cutest bunny butt ever. If you want to keep up with what else I've been painting, you can follow me on social media. Let me know if there's any questions or any tutorials you'd like to see in the future. Thank you so much, and happy spring.